All right, you guys, let's continue with the Heal the Healer series. And today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome, the feeling inadequate or the inadequacy complex. This video is about the voice that whispers, "Who do you think you are?" If you ever felt like you're not qualified enough, you're not good enough, you're not experienced enough, despite all you've already done, this one is for you. So let's talk about where this comes from, how it blocks your service, and what it takes to stand in your power fully. Over the years, I had different initiations throughout the time of being a medicine woman, guide, spiritual educator, channel, all these things where you go through this process of who do you think you are? Is this really real? Are you really doing this? Is this true? Are you good enough to be doing this? Who are you to be telling people X, Y, and Z? It's a process of claiming your authority and your power in your field. So where does this come from? This comes from like internalized unworthiness. It can be from your childhood, but it can also be from societal standards that dictate whether or not you're qualified enough, even when you really are. One of the greatest breakthroughs was when businesses started using people's experience, even life experience, to qualify them for different positions because it holds so much weight. Here's the beautiful thing about the life journey. Experience begets knowledge, and the use of that knowledge begets wisdom. So know, especially when you get to that state of applied knowledge, which is wisdom, you have so much to offer the world. Be mindful of that. If you have internalized unworthiness, of course, that's always a sign that you still have more work to do with the inner child, okay? What that can look like is chronic self-doubt, constantly doubting yourself over and over again in your work and your abilities. The imposter syndrome can lead to over-certification without action. That means you got every degree, certificate, whatever you can possibly get, but you are still in that space questioning, am I good enough? Am I experienced enough? The next thing is being afraid of being exposed as a fraud. So let's talk about fear of not being enough. I feel like when I just said this, some of you all just immediately went back to being a child and feeling like you're not good enough because you were not given enough attention. Attention equals love from our parents or from those who guided us. You were always trying to get approval that what you did was enough or that you just are enough as a person. Take that in for a moment because that's a big look at your pattern in life, how you proceeded through life and how you've overdone everything trying to get approval from loved ones in work, relationships, everywhere, because attention equals love. Then think about all the times that you've overprepared and not executed. This takes me back. Let me share one moment with you. When I was in high school, my senior year, I wrote my final paper, and it was a controversial topic because I was afraid of the judgment or being unknowledgeable or not enough. I didn't hand that paper in, which resulted in me having to go to summer school. Over preparation without execution. Every time this happens, you are setting yourself back a little bit. So that means that where you could have been in the spotlight and shown, you've delayed that yet again. The other part is that everything is in divine order and you show up when you're supposed to show up and you show out when you're supposed to show out, right? The reason why I added that on is because whether you decided to shine in that moment or you chose another moment in the future for you, it's always on time. But here's the other part. How many times have you sabotaged yourself with that inner critic and basically tore yourself down about what you're capable of and whether or not you were worthy to stand in this position of authority and everything? And how many people did you have agreements with in this reality that are still waiting for you to show up? Ooh. Yeah. Are you not trusting yourself? You're not standing in the knowing. And you do know that this is part of your journey to get to that space where you're confident enough to stand in your power. But guess what? It's not going to happen if you keep suppressing yourself. And literally what it's going to take is you just showing up. So if you have to finish that book and release it, if you have to go and show people your magic, do it. If you have to just post a video, do it. Every once in a while, I'll post a picture of me being silly, sticking my tongue out, or I'll say something to do something. All because I'm being vulnerable and I choose to be my true self. Because people who know me behind closed doors, like I cut the fool all the time. Basically in public too. I don't care. I dance, I sing, whatever. To be me. And that's me taking up space. So part of you not feeling you're the imposter is your willingness to take up space in this lifetime. Okay? Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a step. And trust and know and believe that because you have sat so long in this space of feeling like you're not enough or qualified enough, you are going to get those reflections of people challenging your validity. But this is for you to push forward and reset what you've already put in creation to mirror you. That means that if somebody challenges you, then you stand on your authority. You stand on your knowledge or wisdom. You do it. And you're going to recalibrate your reality through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. You have to know that your lived experience is valid. You're going to have to start taking action without the need for external approval. And I'm going to give y'all a prime example. I've held out for years on sharing videos online because I didn't know how they were going to be received. But part of my journey now is to no longer be invisible. So therefore, I'm just going to be throwing up knowledge and information, period. All right. And then the last thing, listen. You're going to get to this space where you're leading confidently from your embodied wisdom. You're walking wisdom. You got this. You're going to be A-okay with it. I want you to know that these are initiations to go through being a spiritual authority. You have to go through the pains of doubting yourself, feeling inadequate, all of that to get to the point where you know for sure and certain of who you are. And when you get to that space, trust and believe, the way is going to be made for you. The path is going to be cleared and you're going to walk confidently. Go ahead and do that inner work. Hey, and guess what? If you made it this long, can you please give me a like, give me a follow, a subscribe, a thumbs up, whatever platform it's on. Just give me a little support as I do my best to support you. All right. Peace, y'all.